Spionkop er en høj i Sydafrikas natalprovins. Her fandt et af de blodigste slag i boerkrigen sted i januar år 1900. 243 britiske soldater blev dræbt, mens 1250 blev såret eller taget til fange. Boerne havde kun 68 dræbte og 280 sårede. Englænderne tabte slaget, selvom de havde en langt større og bedre udrustet hær end boerne. Vi er gået op på en høj, der hedder Mount Alice. Her havde den engelske general, Rowos Rail, hovedkvarter under slaget. Her var også opstillet en stor kanon. Herfra kunne man se, hvordan hans tropper prøvede at komme over floden og erobre Spionkop. Men det lykkedes ikke. Winston Churchill var en 23-årig krigskorrespondent under slaget. Han holdt også til her og blev taget til fange af boerne. Den senere berømte Gandhi var med til at bære de sårede væk. Slagmarkseksperten Raymond Heron fortalte os om Sydafrikas historie og slaget ved Spionkop. Raymond Heron er medlem af Royal Geographical Society og en kendt slagmarksguide i Sydafrika. Hans særlige interesse er den sydafrikanske krig fra 1899 til 1902. Det var meget interessant. Foredraget varede en time. Vi får nu 4 minutters klip af foredraget.
Battlefield route area. And it was on this hill, on the farm owned by a man called Spearman, that General Sir Edward Buller set up his headquarters for what arguably is one of the most famous battles ever fought on African soil. A battle fought on the other side of the Tugela River known as Spionkop. And I will take you onto the front of the memorial later on, and I will show you the Spionkop mountain, and I will tell you what happened on that mountain. And many English-speaking people. Most of the English-speaking people that came at that time came from the very north of the United Kingdom, the Scots in particular. And what you then found happening was that the various nations that had come to live together started to marry across the nationalities. And as they married across those nationalities, they were giving birth to the people we refer to in this part of the world as the Afrikaner people. And the Afrikaner people took the languages of the different nations and they developed the language that I'm sure you've heard spoken on the train, known as Afrikaans. And he announces to the people gathered, you have nothing to worry about. The war in Africa will last 3 weeks. We will be home in time for Christmas. It lasted 3 years and it became the most costly war Britain had ever fought. Not only from a monetary point of view, but the number of men she was to lose. And more men were going to lose their lives in this campaign through disease than actually lose their lives in combat. And Britain initially sent 240,000 men into the war to be joined by a further 80,000 allies, Canada, New Zealand, Australia. By the time the war came to a close 3 years later, 480,000 British and Allied soldiers had been sent here to sort out 69,000 Boers. At the Battle of Colenso, the Boers had been very cunning. They knew that General Buller would probably try and cross the river using the bridges. So they built stone walls on the top of the high ground on their side of the river. And if you could see the ground at Colenso, you would see that the ground on the northern side is raised, the ground on the southern side is flat. And Louis Botha says to his men, build stone walls on the top of this high ground and leave apertures in the walls to put trunks of trees through. Make those look like guns. Smaller ones to put branches through, make those look like rifles. Make it look as though there are more of us here than there really are, but what I want you to do is dig yourselves into the river banks. And I do not want you to fire a single shot until you can see the white of the British soldiers' eyes. Stormberg, Magersfontein, Colenso. In each battle, the British had lost in excess of 1,000 men.
Efter foredraget inviterer Raymond os på en drink i hans Spionkop Lodge.